I am. If you are, I am.
Four years of waiting.
4 years of practice.
1 World Championships.
Hard work.
Performance.
Precision.
Great routines.
Okay, welcome to the 2022 World Championships of Wheel Gymnastics.
Hello and welcome to the Wheel Gymnastics World Championship 2022. My name is Thomas Bjørnluthi and I'm going to be your championship host today. And we're going into a blast of event. We're going to be live for the next 3 days and we're going to have a lot of fun and a lot of exciting times. But I'm not going to be the only one here with me because I have a pure expert with me. So please welcome one of the guys from the Wheel Gymnastics. His name is Günther Fischer.
Very happy, Thomas, to be with you, to be your co-host, and to lead you guys, everybody out there, through wonderful 3 days, as Thomas already mentioned. We have really got lots of things to look forward to. Exciting competitions, exciting elements, exciting new things, lots of fun. So I'm happy to be with you, and let's get the thing started.
Yeah, and Günther, I have to say, you are the expert here. And people, when I'm walking around this gym here at the World Championship, it's like one big family. And you're like a family member missing out here. So, Günther, can you explain a little bit about yourself and your background? Just a short break for our viewers out there.
Okay, let's try to keep that short. I'm a member of the IRV, the International WheelGymnastics Federation. I'm vice president. That's my post there and my official name and position there. I have been with Wheel Gymnastics since 1969. That's when I started training in my home club, and I competed for about 25 years. I traveled the world with Holiday on Ice, the ice show, and then I did private shows, and then I joined the IRV and have been with the IRV ever since.
And Günther, one thing I'm very excited about here is having a skilled person like you here in the studio. I am the host, you're the expert, and we're going to deep in. But we're going to see a competition called CYR today. But before we are going to talk about it, let's have some of the athletes guide us through what CYR is.
CYR is basically very easy to describe. It's just a ring, usually made out of metal, coated with a PVC on it so it doesn't slip. So when you are performing a routine in the sport of CYR wheel, you're trying to connect the music and the movements you do and try to tell a story, try to make it enjoyable for the audience and try to really put yourself out there and dance and spin and turn and twist and everything there's to it. My craziest CYR movement, well, right now, actually today in this competition, I'm going to be showing a hand waltz. That means spinning on hands while the feet are free. So I'm going to call it the windshield wiper because the legs are going to wipe across the wheel. Of course. Well, the difference between CYR and German wheel is that German wheel is a lot more strict in the order it is performed, in the order it is executed, and you have a lot more restrictions on what you are allowed to do. In the CYR, you have much more freedom, you have a wider area, a wider space, more possibilities to step out and to actually get crazy with it.
Wow, Günther, just speaking with a guy like Hauke, he's almost the same age as me, and he has been on this level for a very, very long time. But one thing he talked very much about here was there's a difference between CYR and wheel gymnastics. Can you guide us a little bit more into that?
Well, to be honest, unfortunately, I wasn't able to listen to what Hauke said, but as you gave me a short summary of what Hauke talked about, the differences between CYR and wheel gymnastics in general, of course, it's a completely different apparatus. That's the first thing. If you look at the two, one has got one rim, one has got two rims. That's one of the major differences, but as CYR is mainly popular within the artistic world, within the circus world, they have completely different moves, and the approach to CYR wheel is a different one. It's more the artistic one, whereas wheel gymnastics rather comes from the competitive form. And so that's why we, the IRB, in the first place, were really interested in bringing CYR wheel to our competitions, because we thought, and we not only thought, we were absolutely sure of that it adds so much to our competitions to have those CYR wheel guys there, because it's so attractive.
Yeah, and it is very attractive because I have to say, it's my first very big competition in wheel gymnastics. I've been seeing in the local club here in Denmark. I've been following a little bit from the side and studying into it. But this one wheel turn, it's like a dance on the floor. It's like they really want to show us something. So are they having a more hard time than the double wheelers, or where are we?
I don't think. I mean, I'm personally not an expert in the CYR wheel. To be honest, I have never really tried it, and now I'm probably a bit too old for that. But to reach a certain level, I don't think that there's a big difference. Maybe to start with, the general and basic wheel gymnastics on two rims is a bit easier. But once you got the hang of and you want to reach the higher levels, I think they're both about the same. They have the same difficulty. If you want to reach a level where you can appear at the Worlds, probably not much of a difference.
No. And now we are going into a little bit to the floor. So let's go to the floor while we're in studio, because the athletes are getting ready for going into march into the arena. So I can hear the countdown music is there. So soon there will be some action. So let's go on the floor.
Good.
So Günther, we have different floor cameras with us, a moving cam and a steady cam like here. This is the arena where it's going to be. We are going into the floor. There we go. We can see the floor camera guy. He's following the guys down there. So it's really good. But here the battle is going to be, and the athletes coming in. And Günther, what are we going to see?
Well, what are we going to see? We're going to see two sections. We can see two different sections of the competition. The first one is the technical program, and after a short break, then the artistic program, which in general, I mean, it's the same apparatus. It's CYR both times, but the technical program is a completely different, again, approach. The technical program is closely related to wheel gymnastics, where people put their focus on the execution of the elements that they have to show, whereas in the artistic program, which is much closer to what we can see if CYRs are used in the artistic or in the circus world, people try to kind of tell a story related to the music they choose, maybe even with the dress they wear. They try to express something, and this is much closer to when this apparatus is used in the artistic and circus world. So it's the same apparatus, it's the same elements, but with a completely different approach.
Yeah. So one thing here, we are seeing all the spectators, we are seeing the flags, we are seeing everything here on the floor. And Günther, I was quite surprised. There's quite some spectator traditions, like the Swiss, they have their cowbell. Here we see the Germans getting ready. See there. So how is the culture about the spectators? Because it's a very open competition with a lot of concentration and almost no noise.
We really have to go back into history a bit. I think for a very, very, very long time, competitions were deadly quiet. As you said, the competitors have to concentrate, and the only thing that the spectators did was at the end that they clapped and appreciated the performance. But since the Worlds in Salzburg, in Austria, suddenly the fan culture has completely changed and developed into what we see now.
Yeah.
Where it's closely or much closer to football fans. They try to be loud. They try to show their enthusiasm through being loud and using their flags and their cowbells and having certain choruses that they shout before the competitors start. So it became much more interesting for being a spectator if you compare it to what we know from history.
Yeah, and now the music just went down here in the gym. We're getting ready to welcome the athletes in a few seconds, and they're coming in a big march, and we're going to see both male and female competing here in CYR, the artistic way. So let's in a few seconds coming in. But if you just join this live broadcast, we are at the WheelGymnastics 2022 World Championship, and now the action is on. Germany first coming in here and waving to their fans. And out here there we saw then from Ghana, Israel, Japan, Belgium, and the last team here, where are they from? Let's see when we get a little bit closer up to them. So amazing march in here, and here we have all the spectators and participants with us.
Hello and welcome to Singapore. This will be the last semi-final.
Thomas, just a technical detail.
Yes. So now they're presenting Team USA coming in there, waving out to the spectators, and Team Switzerland here, very happy. And you can almost see the excitement, Gunther, in the players, in the competitors here. Team Japan.
Yeah, of course, for some of them it's the first World Championship, the first appearance at this level, and they have traveled around the world to be here. Just for that certain moment to show their skill to the public. So I can imagine, I've never appeared at the World Championship. When I stopped competing, there wasn't anything like World Championship. So I can really, really imagine how they feel representing their countries and being able to show their skills to the public. That's probably one of the biggest moments in a competitor's life.
And then we have, Gunther, two very, very small nations, Colombia and Ghana is here. Amazing to see this. And
Colombia has been with us for quite a while now, and Ghana, as far as I'm informed, is not, to be honest, a person that really comes from Africa, from the continent, from Ghana, all the way to Denmark, but this person is living and training in the Netherlands and just competes for the home country.
There we go, cheering fans, what a culture we have here. And Gunther, right now we are seeing the judges moving into us here at the moment, and they are getting ready for it. But amazing what's going to happen here, because there's going to be a CYR technical element first. So that looks like it's going to be here in front of us. And that's
So
coming in here.
as we are covering the CYR competition this afternoon, the judges have quite a difficult job to do. First, the technical program, how does it work? What is the judge's job? Well, they have to watch the athlete and have to decide about the performance of the element,
Yeah.
about the accuracy, whether the elements that are compulsory are performed technically correct. And then there's a head judge, he or she, I don't know, has to decide then whether there are any independent deductions afterwards. If, for example, there's a major mistake, a fall, or the competitor has to leave the competition area, which is not allowed. And so there are deductions at the end, and altogether then the judges have to decide about the final score of the technical program. And this adds up together then with the score for the artistic program, and then in the end leads to a ranking, and we'll have a winner and a runner-up and so on.
Yeah, amazing here. And right now we can just see the spectators getting ready, and they're waving to the camera. And they're getting ready because now the CYR competition is getting ready. But I can see at the same time, just while we are here, we have a small, let's just go in studio, because it looks like we have a straight line that has been missed. So let's just go in studio, that one we will not show. And it looks like here in studio, here in the gym, we are waiting for the CYR athletes to get in. But it looks like there was a small issue in the junior competition earlier. So we are having a straight line, but there's a junior without music starting. And now it looks like the CYR is coming in. So let's go to the floor.
So first competitor should be Shigeki Kanai from Japan.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's there. And as you said, Gunther, that's Shikiki, he's coming in there. So
He's just
ready.
waiting for the okay from the judges.
And it's coming in there. And the technical part, what's the difference from what we're going to see? They said something about this, they are not allowed to do a freestyle as they normally do.
No, they have a compulsory set of elements that they have to show.
Yeah.
And they will try and make them as accurate as possible.
Yeah.
So that the judges count them and don't have to give too many deductions. Hopefully none at all.
No.
And
Whoosh.
technical is...
Oi, he's outside of the technical area there.
Yep,
Jumping in.
that was a mistake.
And if you can see, while we're seeing, you can see it here from the top also. He's spinning around there, and what he just did, there is an area they're doing it in from. But see there, dancing to the music right now.
Not really dancing to the music, Thomas, to be honest, because the technical program is not to music.
No?
I don't know if there's any music in the background.
There is a lot of music in here now. That's why I started together with the CYR. So that's why we're just here in the gym. So he's really just showing his technique. So let's go a little bit closer to him. See that close up there.
Wow, cool. Good to see that he came back into his execution again after this major fault at the beginning. But now he's really doing very well.
Wow.
The splits. Cool. It's probably, oh cool. I don't know that much about CYR, to be honest. I'm not a CYR expert, but I think he did really well with just one major mistake. Let's see how good the others are. That was a good start into the competition by, again, Shigeki Kanai from Japan. He's 27 years old.
And then we can see there's a shift. It's going fast here here to the World Championship. So the next one is Casey from USA coming in. Casey Corval. He's a little bit younger. He's the youngest today. He's 22 years old, Gunther. But he has been the national champion 19, 20, 21 and 22 in the USA.
So this seems like we're having something to look forward to. A 4 times US national champion. Let's see if what he can do, how good his skills are, and we probably still have to wait till the judges get ready again, till they have their score for Shigeki. Otherwise, he's not allowed to start. And again, just a technical question, Thomas. I can't hear any music, and normally the technical program is not set to music. So I just wondered why you said there's lots of music.
It's because there is a party here in the gym. It's like they're doing a straight line at the same time. That's why we got a little bit confused here in studio. But it's coming in here. But see that focus and concentration. Let's just see him from top view. See, there he's standing, waiting for the judges to let him in.
Yep. So the judges are on the right, as I can see, under that balcony.
Yep.
So he's facing them and waiting for the signal from the head judge.
And we can see he's just waiting and waiting and waiting. Let's see what's happening here.
Well, the problem, especially after the first competitor, is always the judges need to get the routine again. It's their first appearance, it's the first starter, it's the first time they have to give their scores. So they're nervous too. So they need to get acquainted to everything again, and I think they will speed up towards the end of the competition, but that's pretty normal that they take their time, that they need their time at the beginning.
Yeah, and while we are waiting, Gunther, the score in the last competitions was 4.8 to Team Japan. So very well performance. He got a little bit losing a little bit points because he went outside of the technical.
Exactly,
show.
yeah.
But here we can see top view. He's looking around. It must be nervous standing there and waiting, Gunther.
Well, of course. I remember my times when I was competing. Of course you're nervous, but I mean it's kind of good to be nervous, to have a certain in German you say Spannung, attention.
Yeah, tension.
Because that can help you if it's not too much. So now he got the sign, he got the signal. I think he's ready to start, and there he goes.
There he goes.
First element.
Coming in again.
Okay, good circles. So far, so good. I can't see any major mistakes.
No. He's really, really doing a good one here from Team USA. You can see his, but he's not moving the same like the Japanese.
Definitely not. He doesn't have, he doesn't have the technical skills that Shigeki showed. So I wonder, he still needs to do a few more elements, definitely.
They are just, we just got also this. It's background music they're using, Gunther, to have the mood. It's not the dancing music for it. But there you can see here, wow, spinning around.
Now he's starting.
Yeah.
Okay. Now a few tricks and some elements that he has to show. Okay.
More and more out here.
It just took him a little while to kind of get started.
It was like he was going to warm up.
Oh, what a pity.
No, so that was the end, or so?
I think it just made it the end. I don't know if the judges will deduct that or if they just say that was his dismount. I don't know. I'm not a sure judge, so we'll just have to wait what they say.
Yeah, interesting what's going on there. And now it looks like he's talking with his coach down there while we are watching all the flags. Here we see all the nations and everything. He's waiting for the score. He's still standing and waiting, and I can see the next competitioner is getting ready. I'm like in a tower, Gunther, where you're sitting sadly at home remote and not live with us in studio, but still live here and watching everything. See, there he is, Casey. And the next one coming up is the third competitioner in the technical program for men, and that's Hauke Narten. You know Hauke quite well. He has been here for 27.
Correction.
Yeah. Okay. We have a small correction here in studio, Gunther. For the score and everything.
Score.
Yeah. The
Okay.
score was actually for the Team Japan. Shigeki, he got 7.7 points in total.
Ah,
So it was not that bad. It was actually very good.
so 7.7 sounds much better for Shigeki. And yes, you mentioned Hauke already. It's definitely somebody to look forward to.
See, there he's standing. The camera guy is just beside him, and Hauke is just there. They're waiting for the judges.
Yeah, he's the reigning world champion.
Yeah.
And so we definitely can look forward to probably a very good performance. Let's see if he's not too nervous, having seen the other two competitors before him.
Mhm.
But Hauke is a very relaxed person, so I think he's probably not too nervous, having appeared so often in front of that crowd and in the framework of a world championship. I really we got acquainted in 2019 when he was a coach during the CSIT World Sports Games, and a training camp that we had of the IRB in WheelGymnastics and CYR Wheel, and we had so much fun in this week. And as I said, he's a very relaxed person, so I doubt that he's too nervous.
Yeah, we had a great talk with Hauke. Now we see him moving into the area, the competition area. The German spectators are getting ready for it. I can say too, we just had quite a tension here. First it was all quiet, then Hauke came onto the floor, and suddenly everybody's clapping and cheering.
Do we have the score for Casey already?
We will have it. It looks like 6.375 from my side here, while we have Hauke starting it. Yes, 6.375 for Casey. Wow. So relaxed. Such
You
a
see the
pickup.
difference?
Yeah.
He's trying to change position so often, so new elements very often, not just having the same position all the time. Wow, cool.
And Gunther, the most amazing part, 37 years old. Yeah.
This is the most amazing thing for you.
Yeah, I'm so amazed. Same age as me, so athletic, so dancing, so technical, high level. This is like enjoying somebody really knowing their sport.
If there's a person that is not only enjoying his sport, but who's capable of doing the most difficult things, then it's definitely Hauke. Apart from the artists in the circus world, Hauke really knows how to move this CYR wheel. Wow, excellent. See the precision, wow, no hands.
Wow.
See the smile on his face?
Yeah. He enjoys himself.
Still not finished.
No.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. He really shows what you can do with the CYR wheel. Wow.
Just
No flaws,
enjoy.
no mistakes, no faults.
Wow, what a
Ooh.
finish here
Congratulations.
from Team Germany.
Congratulations to
Hauke.
Hauke.
There we go. It's
What a performance.
He's also happy about that. And now we're getting ready for the the next line out when we're getting the score. But let's get the score. Let's see the overview. You can see we have a scoreboard down there in the corner, and we are waiting for the judges to get in the score. And while we're waiting, let's just jump a little bit in the studio. Günther, I have to say, I'm amazed. I'm very amazed. This really looks great. What an artistic performance. Even this is the technical part.
The technical part is just as difficult as the artistic. It's just, as I said, a different approach. The technical part has to focus on the precision of the elements that you have to show. The more difficult the elements, the more difficult, and the precision needs to be much higher than if you don't care. But as the judges see everything, you really have to try to be as precise as possible. We can see Lucy already ready for her first appearance at the World Championships, and you mentioned Hauke being 37. Yeah. Lucy is 14 years old, so she's definitely the youngest competitor, and she was part of that training camp in Tortosa in Spain, where Hauke was the coach, and it's just amazing to see her now appearing here. It's just 3 years ago. Such a development. Excellent.
And there we go. Lucy Voss from Germany, 14 years old. Let's just enjoy. Wow. Hand on the floor. Is that okay?
It's not a mistake. No. If you do that in wheel gymnastics, that would be a fault. But here, no. She wanted to do that.
And I just got the score from Hauke while we are seeing Lucy here. 11.7. 4 points more than second position. So amazing start for him. Wow, also flowing in the air.
Lucy's doing really well. Cool.
Such a light performance here. It really looks like she's flying.
I think she is. That's what it feels.
Beautiful pictures. Just enjoy how she's dancing around in that CYR wheel. And at the same time so focused. Look at her face impression.
And she has such a variety of elements. Only 14 years old and already capable of so many different elements, and even really technically really difficult ones. Not just the easy ones, but excellent. Really well done, Lucy. Congratulations for your first performance at the Worlds.
Great job by Lucy. See, there she's going out. We just falling. See her smile there. The youngest competitor here in this final doing there. And Hauke, congratulations her. Great.
She knows that she did well.
Really enjoyable. I have to say, I'm amazed how these girls and boys are performing. And it looks like we're going to wait a little bit for the second competitioner. So while we're waiting for the score, let's just jump in studio again. So if you just tuned into this channel, we are broadcasting the World Championship 2022 of Wheel Gymnastics. Here in studio you have Thomas Bjørnlykke, the host, but you have one of the experts, and I have to say almost iconic persons on wheel gymnastics, Günther Fischer, with us. And we are at the CYR finals today. And what have we been seeing until now, Günther?
What we have seen so far.
What do you think about the level we have been seeing until now?
It's a very high level. We have seen mistakes, but I think that's normal. If you have competitors, not everybody is at the same level as everybody else, and people have their first appearances at the World Championships, so one is more nervous than the other. But so far we have seen excellent performances, excellent executions, and great elements of high difficulty. And we're now going to see the second competitor in the women's competition from Germany again. Larissa, no, sorry, my mistake. It's Annika Witte.
Yeah. And while we're seeing her starting, a good start for her. Lucy's score was 10.2.
Wow.
So very high level today. And we will talk later on how these scores works, but a great, great start. Just enjoy Annika here on the floor. Günther, I know she's just spinning around, but see how close she is to the floor.
Well, that's like a coin spin. You know that move, or we have that move in WheelGymnastics as well,
Yeah.
where people even go down much further. But I think it's more difficult with the CYR wheel to go down further, because you always have to open your fingers. If you don't want to squash them, you have your fingers around the rim, and if you don't open them, you squash them. So you can't really go down that far probably, but that's cool.
That's cool.
That's a cool
cross.
element.
Beautiful. Just enjoying the view here. I'm all quiet because see that technique, how they're stretching out that core in the stomach, how they're focused and concentrated and still like flying in the air. Wow.
Oh, she's doing really well.
It's like she's flying outside of the ring while she's spinning around.
She will probably receive a very high score as well.
And there was the finish. Great performance. He looks very happy, Günther.
Congratulations to Annika again, the second competitor and the second excellent execution, the second excellent performance. Both of them did very well and showed super and wonderful elements without any major fault. I couldn't detect any, and I think the judges will give a very high score to Annika as well.
Yeah, and here why we are saying that, we see a line of judges coming. They're not part of this competition. It's because there's running 3 competitions at the same time right now. We're also going to have a world competition starting in the other end. But we will just jump into studio and talk about what's coming up. But Günther, we are here at the CYR finals, and until now, I have to say, the competitioners down there looks a little bit nervous, but what a high level they've been having today.
As we talked about being nervous before, I think it's essential to be a bit nervous. Otherwise, you cannot really show your highest performance. Yeah. But you, of course, have to be able to then work with that being nervous, and then show what you have trained for, and bring the best on the competition floor. And yes, we have seen some excellent executions and very wonderful and highly technical skills so far. And there's more to look forward to be honest. I think the next competitor, Larissa, is a very good competitor as well. She's very, very skillful. From Germany again, 26 years old, and I'm really looking forward to her performance. And there's another 2 after her, and that's the technical side then already. And let's see what the last 3 can do.
And Annika and Lucy was very close to each other. Just to say, she got 10.125 in score, and Lucy got 10.2. And there we go. The next competitioner coming up, this is Larissa. But she's spinning with speed, Günther, a whole other type of difference she's doing in here.
Yeah, she's starting with a much larger circle. This is probably essential to do the tricks she does, or to show the elements she does. Let's see, we'll probably narrow the circle.
Whoa!
Oh, that was Hauke's move, remember?
You can't call that at Hauke. Now there's 2 in the gym doing it, but I have to say, laying in one ring, spinning back up and then standing, wow, amazing. And just see how she's using the whole floor.
That's what I said. She's starting off with a very large circles, whereas the first two competitors that we saw started with smaller circles immediately, which makes it difficult to show some of the elements. But now she's down to the coin spin and the split.
Coin spin and split at the same time. Yeah. There we go. Coming good up there.
Is there more to come? Yeah, probably. Ooh. She's very flexible. I wouldn't be able to do that. Not anymore. What about you, Thomas?
No. I'm a more volleyball type. So there we go. Wow, what a performance here. Are we looking into a higher score than the two others? It's been very close what we have been seeing.
Very close, probably. Very close. Again, I'm not a CYR judge, and I don't really know about the difficulty of the various elements that she showed, whether she simply receives a higher technical score. But maybe we'll see. Probably not that much higher than Lucy and Annika that we saw before, which are the two are very close together. We'll just have to wait.
We have to wait on that, and now we're also waiting for the next competition to come in. So the judges have some time to find their score and do their score. And I can say to you, Günther, when I'm looking out on the whole arena here, there's dead quiet. People are very focused, and when you saw the faces on the persons while they were spinning around in CYR, it was like they were just amazed, captured into that movement. Is this what WheelGymnastics do to people, amazed people and capture them into the movements?
You're speaking about the spectators.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Whenever you go somewhere, no matter where, and you have the wheel with you, again, no matter whether it's the gym wheel or the CYR, people just stop and stare, because this is nothing that you see every day on the telly. This is nothing that you know from normal life. So it's something people don't really know what's the competitors, what the people do with the wheel, and you simply have to stop and look what they do. And in general, people are amazed and cannot imagine that you can do things like that in a small rim, as we see probably Sandra doing now.
Wow. No, we
Good
are
start.
with Tamira or Hasif or Phil. There we go. A good start. She started with a Hauke, as you called it, doing backspin and then doing a coin here. This is from Germany. This is Tamira.
Cool.
So
You just have to imagine that whenever she goes down, she has to open her. Oh, she missed the rim.
So is that what's happening when you're missing the ring? Then you're losing 1 point, or what's coming in? We can see.
Yeah, that's a major fault. That's a deduction of 1 point. That's like a fall in WheelGymnastics.
Then it's back up and running, because they both have a technical part and then the freestyle today here. But there we go.
Yeah, there's still a long way to go. So, I mean, a fault is not good, of course, but there's still a long way to go. So others can have mistakes too. So she doesn't have to give up.
But one thing I love about seeing all these athletes out here is how they're fighting them way back. You can almost see them. They've been practicing and practicing, but no matter what happens, they're getting back in it. We have the score of Larissa, 11.075. So that's a very close one. She just scored almost 1 point more than the rest of them. So
Thomas, could you repeat her score, please?
11.075 for Larissa. And here we see Tamira ending up this one. You can see she's not that satisfied on her face.
Well, you can imagine, of course, she has trained so hard for that performance, and then one major mistake will probably lead to, although she had a very good performance in general, but if she loses 1 point, she will probably end up behind Lucy and Annika too.
Yeah.
So that would probably mean fourth place at the minute, but we'll see in 30 seconds when we get the
but
score.
everything can happen, Günther, because there are two competitions. There are the technical part, and then later on, after a small break, we will go back to the artistical part, where they will dance to music and do more freestyle, be a little bit more wild, and there they can really do a huge difference in this competition.
That's what she hopefully knows as well, Timea, that there's still a way to go, and she doesn't give up, because the artistic program is something completely different. You can really add strength to your performance then, because you love the music part and the artistic part much more than the technical part. We'll see. For some of them, it's easier to do the artistic. Some of them just live up in the artistic and suddenly perform much better. And let's see, maybe she's luckier in the second run in the artistic part, and will be able to catch the others again.
And here we have Sandra. She's getting ready, but she has a little bit waiting time. You can just see it on her and the coach. Why are we waiting so long? It's because the judges, they're giving themselves a lot of time to find out which score they're going to mirror. But they are, I can see on their faces, they're almost there, but they really need to calculate this one. So now she goes on the floor.
Okay, here she is.
And Sandra, she's the oldest of the females. She's 32 years old.
32 years old, yeah.
So amazing, but she's one of those in the highest level here. So let's see how she performs in this one. And we have the score before. Oh, Tamira got 10.75. So even with that mistake, she actually came in to second position overall.
So that proves me wrong. I expected her to be behind the other two girls, but I'm not a CYR judge. So even this major deduction, she must have had a very high technical score and a very high precision to get this score.
Just enjoy Sandra. She's the last of the performance here in the CYR Technical Program of the women's. There we see. She seems to be a little bit higher than the rest of the competition. You see, she's a little bit more in her knees, bowing in the knees than the rest of them.
That's just depending on the element that you show. Whether you have to have those knees or not. I can't see that much of a difference. She's technically very good, I think, so far what I have seen, and no mistake. She's pretty concentrated, so far she's not really smiling, although she could be very happy with her performance so far. Let's see what she thinks about herself when she has stopped. Wow, she's still doing excellently.
I have to say I'm very amazed about what we're seeing here. They're really performing in a high level. And Sandra spinning around. Great job here. Ooh, now she's flying.
She could actually reach Larissa's score.
There, she finished up. That was Sandra doing a great job, and straight away she leaves the. She looks happy. See, she's very happy.
Now she gives away her feelings, and she's happy about her performance. These 5 ladies are very, very close together. I think that's a very tense competition, and it's not yet decided who's going to win that.
No, it's not yet decided. But let's jump in the studio and wait for the score. And there we have the 3 CYR men fighting it out in the technical program. We have all females, women been fighting it out in the technical program. And I have to say, I'm amazed about how a high level we have, Günther, because this is a really high level.
Yeah,
I know it's the World Championship,
but we're talking about the World Championships. If we don't have a high level here, where should we have it? So the people that perform here should be of the highest level, at least in the in the competition field. If you compare them with the artists out there, there are very, very skillful CYR artists touring the world with Cirque du Soleil or other circuses. But within this family in the competition world, they are definitely the most skillful art competitors, and that's why we're happy to see those skillful elements and those artistic performances.
And Günther, I just got the score here from Sandra.
Let me guess.
Are you ready?
I think she's very close to Larissa's.
She's 11.0. So 11.0. So if we just...
So I was right.
Yeah, so if we just take it right now in the lead, we have Larissa 11.075. Second place, we have Sandra 11 points. Then we have Timira, even with a mistake, she got 10.75. So something really to look into in the freestyle program. And then we have in fourth place Lucy 10.2, and then Annika with 10.125.
So they're all within just 1 point, which is just one major mistake. So all of them can win. Yeah. So this is really something to look forward to. That makes it very, very interesting. Whereas the male competition, from the scores, it seems to be a pretty easy game for Hauke, but I mean, you never know.
Everything can happen. A slightly mistake and everything changes. So you need to be focused, you need to be ready in this sport. Now we have been talking about this great experience we just had here on the floor in the technical CYR program. But Günther, you know as me, there's a lot of cool guys and cool women here around this gym doing a lot of fantastic things. And one of them I had the honor to meet is Bart. Bart the photographer. What do you know about Bart, Günther, before I'm going more into the deep?
Well, I have been in contact with Bart for many years now, and he's the person who can definitely shoot the best photos of wheel gymnastics you can imagine. I don't know how he does it, but if you have ever tried to make a sports photo of moving action, you always miss the right moment. You always think about, that's what I want to capture, but when you open the camera, when you click and you have a look at the photo, it's just 2 seconds too late or too early or it's blurry or whatever. He can really capture the emotion and the artistic and the beauty of the sport. He's just amazing, and he's just a very, very cool and very, very nice guy, and he's always around, and he's just brilliant.
Yeah, and with all that said, we were so lucky that we could steal around a half an hour of Bart's time to talk about Bart's 7 best moments. And here is the part 1 of Bart explaining about his pictures and experience in wheel gymnastics. Please enjoy. This is already giving me goosebumps.
Okay, now my name is Bart. Okay, I live in Holland. I'm Australian by origin, and I just travel internationally. I'm just a big. I love traveling. Yeah. Also for competitions nowadays. Like I said, I just came into the wheel world through my daughter and her club, and the participants that I got to know. After the wheel gymnastics competition in Arnsberg, I started specializing more in gymnastic sports, also rhythmic gymnastics, dance, and the more choreographed kind of sports. And yeah, from one thing comes the next. I'm a photographer by trade nowadays.
Great.
Yeah.
But you're going to help us with a very important thing here.
Okay.
You're one of the few persons that's been at lots of these international events, taking photos and everything.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do now is you're going to tell me about your finest moments in wheel gymnastics. So take us to a journey, and if you can describe why do you remember exact this moment in this photo? And it's okay because people don't know the story, but they can feel your passion for the photo or why you like it or what happened.
Yeah, it's really complicated in some ways because I'm not particularly interested in the technique. I'm more interested in the people and the movements and in the aesthetic value of the sport.
Yeah, but then why? Here we're going back to. Is that 2011?
This is 2011. Yeah, this is one of the girls at the club where my daughter was training, and there's a lot going on here. First of all, the aesthetic, the expression. You know, it's a very elegant pose. The aesthetics. I'm very interested in geometry, and you see all kinds of lines and circles and things going on here. For me, that adds an extra value to a photo, if you can get a kind of interesting geometric game going on as well. And the combination between the person and the, in Dutch you would say, mens en machine. So mens und, the person and the apparatus, the interaction, the way of cooperating.
And she's quite standing there, very athletic in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you capture the moment of the hand.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, great.
This is quite a typical pose in different gymnastic sports as well. It's familiar. Yeah, it's just a kind of a quiet rest moment before going on to the next element. Yeah.
So the quiet moment, presenting and coming into the next moment.
Yeah.
Wow, great. Next picture.
That's this one.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. This is a girl from Israel. This photo is made in Austria at the International Austrian Open, and she could do this vault just so perfectly.
Yeah.
So I get a bit emotional every time I see this again. Yeah.
But it's a fantastic capture what you did there.
But the same thing again, you see the lines going, you see the circles, and it's just a kind of game in the photo itself. And the expression is though she's just quietly resting in the moment while flying through the air. Yeah.
But that's quite a moment because seeing a wheel gymnastic with one hand, no legs touching the ring, and then just flying through the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. That's a beautiful picture.
Yeah. And this next one, that's Sabina from Switzerland. And this was quite a unique element. I don't think I've ever seen anybody else performing this. You see the expression, she's concentrated, but she knows exactly what she's doing. And this element, she spins out at a certain point and the legs come over and she goes into a whole new element in a totally unique way. And then again you see just the lines and the circles and I remember the combination as well of the rest of the exercise as well. So there's just kind of in-between moment between two very different elements. Okay. And
so how does it feel, Bart, to know and take the picture exact in that moment, because that takes skills?
Training. I train too. I follow these people quite a lot.
So you are the photographer who's been traveling around with wheel gymnastics worldwide for years of this.
Internationally since 2011, in Holland from 2005 to 2011, and still in Holland quite often,
Great.
But I've been in the meantime to Israel, to the United States, Switzerland, Austria, wherever there's. The only country I haven't been to is Japan, but that's still on my wish list.
Next time. Wow, Günther, that was a good talk with Bart, and I have to say I'm still having goosebumps because he's such a story in himself, and as we just talked about while we saw this show with him, he's here every time.
He's there every time, And I think he's just part of the WheelGymnastics family as we are part of the WheelGymnastics family, and he loves to come back to his family. He loves to see the people again. We love to see Bart again. And he's the person that is able to capture the emotions, to capture the difficulty in the elements. Although it might look easy, he's the person that knows how to portray the sport really well, so that the beauty of the movements is captured in this one photo.
Yeah.
And that's why we love him and he loves us. And that's just wonderful.
Yeah. And speaking about wonderful, Günther, I have one question for you. Before we're going on a small break, what is your best experience? If you have to choose one moment that you maybe always will remember from your time in wheel gymnastics, what's that moment?
Absolutely difficult, absolutely difficult. But I think one of the moments was, or two.
Okay.
I mentioned before the Worlds in Austria, and then the year after the Worlds in Switzerland in Bar, where we had a full house packed. I think about 2,000 people watching, and we had such a fan base there that it just, as you said, it gave you the goosebumps. It was so fantastic to see all the people dressed up in their orange T-shirts and in the red and white for the Swiss, and they were just cheering and happy, and that was we had no experience with that before, so it was such a change that it was almost a shock to see how people experience the sport and how they suddenly are able to support the competitors with so many different things and shouts and songs and cheers. That was simply amazing.
I can really see on you how much this means, and this is really a memory putting into the deep of you. Günther, we are going to have a small break, all of you viewers out there, for 20 minutes. The reason for that is because the floor is going to be used for another competition, a junior competition, that we are not allowed to broadcast for you, but we'll come back for the CYR Technical, not technical, but artistical program with you in 20 minutes. So don't worry, we will be back in 20 minutes. This broadcast will not stop. You will have some nice, relaxing music. But then Günther and I will be back for that.
Okay.
Thank you for
Excellent.
watching,
See you in
and we look
20
forward to
minutes
see
then.
you in 20 minutes.
Bye bye.
4 years of waiting.
4 years of practice.
1 World Championships.
Hard work.
Performance.
Precision. Great routines.
Okay, welcome to the 2022 World Championships of Wheel Gymnastics.
Hello and welcome back to this WheelGymnastics World Championship 2022. My name is Thomas and we are back here for the CYR competition that we start in around 10 minutes and then we're going to the Artistic Program. But I'm not going to be all alone here in the studio. Please welcome our co-commentator. And I have to say, not just co-commentator, maybe an icon, an idol inside this world of wheel gymnastics. Please welcome, I have to say, my expert in wheel gymnastics, Günther Fischer.
Well, thank you very much for that really warm welcome, Thomas. I'm honored. I'm just your co-host and I'm happy to be here as I'm not able to be at the Worlds personally. So I'm really happy that I got that job. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be your co-host and lead you through the second round of the CYR competition, the Artistic Program.
Yeah. And Günther, there's one thing we talked about here in the break and everything. Now you're not practicing at the moment of certain conditions, but I have to say the athletes has been having a hard time practicing too. So what's happening there at the last? It's 4 years ago since we had a World Championship.
That was definitely one of the most difficult times, not just for us as a federation, but especially for the gymnasts. Depending on the country they come from, they had different situations in their home cities, their hometowns, in the gyms, depending on where they are. Some were completely closed, some were closed just for the juniors, some were closed for the adults. Some were able to exercise with masks on. So really difficult situation for all of them, I think.
Yeah. One thing, Günther, now we are going to ask the athletes instead of that question, because we actually talked with them how it's been doing practice under these hard conditions.
So let's hear what they say.
Let me tell you, 4 years of waiting was a really long time, not competing, not performing, hardly being able to do any practice.
The first lockdown, I usually went out running, which also helped to keep me fit. But the second lockdown, I was working full time and usually I was too tired in the evenings to do something else. I think I would have been motivated to do wheel gymnastics, but I couldn't get myself to do anything else except for maybe go inline skating once in a while.
Well, the past years were really hard on practicing any kind of sport, I guess. But we tried to make the best of it. And, you know, some say it's like riding a bike. You never, unlearn it.
It was really hard. I gained a lot of weight as well, and I was really not fit anymore. So the first few months were pretty hard. But then once I got back into the competition season, I think it was a lot easier. And also now the last few months before the World Championships was just like before.
But actually, being here is insane. It's so much fun to see everybody, to be part of the big wheel family again, and just trying to show the best you can do. It's awesome.
Wow, Günther, speaking with these guys, that's really taking all this very, very serious. And then talk with a guy like Simon. He's saying, hey Thomas, I had a hard time. The first lockdown, that was okay. The second one, I also had a full-time job. And I couldn't practice, I couldn't run, I couldn't bicycle. So I actually gained a lot of weight. And then he had to fight his way back for this. So it takes quite some, I have to say, some really self-discipline and power to come back in this. So how does it feel? Because I don't know much about wheel gymnastics, but you've been practicing this for a very, very long time.
Well, first of all, we all have to realize that we're talking to amateurs. We're not talking to professionals. who are coached through their daily routines by programs and by coaches that tell them what to do every day. So it needs a lot of discipline and it needs a lot of willpower to get in shape for those competitions, and especially during a hard time like most of them or all of them had during the last 2 years. It's just amazing that all of them were able to get in shape for the competition in time. And as Simon, that was actually a very relaxed guy, a very funny and very, very nice guy, who probably needed that much discipline, as you said, to fight his way back to getting in shape again.
Yeah. And then we met up with Hauke saying, hey, I was one of the lucky guys. I could practice a little bit, but because our sport is the small one, we got pushed away in those time period where people could practice. And then he talked about, hey, maybe some of us are lucky having a spare wheel so we could practice outside. But there is something special with these wheels. There's a reason they can slide on the floor like they're doing. So are they good of using outside?
Not really. They all got that plastic wrapping around the rims that keep them from sliding too much on the sports hall floors. So if you go on concrete outside, you just damage this wrapping. But lots of CYR wheel artists that appear in the public outside, they simply don't mind, or they take the wrapping away from the wheels. They just have the rims as they are, iron rings, and they don't mind. But in general, you need a very, very flat ground floor to perform the highly artistic elements, and you probably don't find them anywhere outside.
You don't find them anywhere outside, no, because this sport is actually quite interesting. It's quite old, this sport. I was told a story about it started somewhere before the First World War. So now we have a little bit of time. Can you tell us a little bit how it came into wheel gymnastics as it is today?
Well, the birth year, the official birth year is 1925, or was 1925, when Otto Feig first introduced the wheel to the world, but he had the idea much earlier, during a time in prison when he was imprisoned because he fought for the resistance against the French army before the First World War. And then he simply took the idea into a place which is very close to where I'm sitting right now here. It's just a 20 minutes car ride away, which is a hilly area called the Rhön. And this, if you think about the name of that apparatus, the sport, it's Rhönrad.
Yeah.
Wheel gymnastic is just the English word. It's Rhönrad, and it got the name from the country where it was, where the first wheels were built in his factory, and then
just go talk, but it's okay, just continue talking, because we're just going to the floor while we're talking about this beautiful wheel.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish. Then from there on, they just spread in the world from 1925 on and got bigger and bigger.
And Günther, we are not commentating this competition. It's more just so people can imagine this wheel. So he invented this just up to the first not World Championship, to the First World War. And then he got the idea, and then suddenly it became more artistic, you said. But there was a big issue at the Second World War, wasn't there?
After the Second World War, well, the thing during the Second World War was that most of the wheels had been turned into guns, or into bombs, or into weapons in general, and there weren't any wheels left. So people had to start from scrap and from the beginning again, and that was certainly very difficult. But I think the biggest change happened when you talk about getting more artistic. was when people came up with the idea of that plastic wrapping around the rims, because from that point on, people were able to do more and more artistic elements, and then suddenly the wheels, in relevance to the people's height, got larger, and so the gymnasts had more space in the wheel for their artistic elements, and from then on it really got into the direction that we see now, where it is very close to artistic gymnastics.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's really artistic what we're seeing here. And you said earlier, when we started up the whole show today, you said, hey, I'm former from Disney on Ice, and we see this wheel in Cirque du Soleil, we see it in different big shows around the world. So it is a very, I have to say, I'm really amazed watching this wheel, really looking into it. So is that where wheel gymnastics is going, or it's going to be a bigger and bigger sport and more professional? What do you think the future is?
Difficult, to be honest. It's really difficult, especially having had those 2 years that we have just suffered from. We definitely, the clubs out there in the countries have lost people to the pandemic, definitely. So it's really difficult to make a good forecast for the future and to see where the sport's going. Of course, we really try to spread it, but we're not a professional federation. We're not even part-time workers for the federation. We're just volunteers, and we're lacking the money. We're lacking lots of things to being able to invest into full-time persons traveling the world for coaches that go into places and teach the people there. So the sport itself, the gymnasts that we see at the Worlds are getting better and better, definitely. But it's difficult to spread the sport into the world. It is, I mean, the apparatus itself, you need space, you need certain floors. You have to, it's not just the ball and you have lots of people running behind the ball. You need the apparatus.
Yeah. And Günther, with all that said, we are going to watch the second half of the CYR competition. We're going into the CYR Artistic Program, the one there's a freestyle one. But instead of having you and me explaining what CYR is, because we have a lot of new viewers out there, then let's just have one of the athletes helping us explain what CYR is.
CYR is basically very easy to describe. It's just a ring, usually made out of metal, coated with a PVC on it so it doesn't slip. So when you are performing a routine in the sport of CYR wheel, you're trying to connect the music and the movements you do and try to tell a story, try to make it enjoyable for the audience, and try to really put yourself out there and dance and spin and turn and twist and everything there's to it. My craziest CYR movement, well, right now, actually today in this competition, I'm going to be showing a hand waltz. That means spinning on hands while the feet are free. So I'm going to call it the windshield wiper, because the legs are going to wipe across the wheel. Of course. Well, the difference between CYR and German wheel is that German wheel is a lot more strict in the order it is performed, in the order it is executed, and you have a lot more restrictions on what you are allowed to do. In the CYR, you have much more freedom, you have a wider area, a wider space, more possibilities to step out and to actually get crazy with it.
And Günther, that was Hauke explaining us how CYR was doing, and Hauke, this is Günther, this is going to be exciting what we're going to see now, because the artistic program, we will not commentate that much because there'll be a lot of dancing, a lot of music on there. So, so what are we going to see when we're coming to that?
First of all, Thomas, I have problems hearing you.
Yeah?
very well from the studio.
It's okay. Can you hear me now, Gunther?
It's much better now, but I think I understood what you
Yeah.
wanted
Yeah.
to say. The biggest difference now is that the performances are set to music, as you already said. It's still, the focus is still on accuracy, of course, because they are judges and they want to see that you are able to perform the elements accurately. But the second part, and a really important part now, is the artistic performance. So how you and the wheel move together to the music the competitors have chosen. So this is much closer to the artistic world, to the circus world, and that was the first and most important factor for us to bring this part of wheel gymnastics to our competitions, because this is the really exciting.
Yeah, this is the really exciting part, and we're really looking forward to it. Right now, I can explain to all of you the reason why we're waiting is because we're waiting for the CYR competitions to be ready here. The judges just is walking out because there's just been a spiral competition, and now the judges coming in for the CYR competition. And this is one of the shift in the sport, because there are different judges and they have different skills of looking into things, and that's what's happening now. But we just had the first half of the CYR competition. There the teams got some points. And now we're getting into the second part where the athletes are getting new points. And these 2 points together is, in the end, giving the overall result for the athletes. But for your notice, we will only tell the points they're getting in what we're seeing here, and then afterwards, the whole excitement coming out, who will be crowned world champion of CYR. But that's how it is, and Gunther, now the judges are getting ready. They are really in shape and all that. But I have a still small interest into this, because Hauke in the interview said, and this is for the new viewers also, there's a difference between wheel gymnastics and CYR. So tomorrow we're going to see wheel gymnastics. That's the double wheel. So why are they saying there's such a big difference? Because in spiral they're also dancing.
I mean, CYR is very close to spiral, that's true. And you can compare those two, that's true as well. And in spiral they have started introducing elements from steel wheel into spiral. So that's quite interesting to see that they share elements suddenly. But to be honest, CYR and being both rings for straight line is really completely different. It's both is really good fun, of course, but it's difficult for me because I'm not a CYR performer. I have never been in a CYR wheel, but I must say that maybe straight line feels a bit more secure because you're rolling on two rings. And you don't have, you don't need to be afraid of tumbling and falling to the side, but nevertheless both are very artistic, and you need strength and you need power to perform well what you want to perform. So I think they're both very interesting to watch. It's different, but they're both good fun.
Yeah. And right now, I'm starting to see the male CYR competitions. They are getting ready in the opposite. We will get the camera out now for it. They are getting ready for it, and they are all dressed up. So let's go on the floor to see what we're going to see here. There they are. They're getting ready, and when the music starts, we will just enjoy it. But see, he dressed up this time. He's looking like a gentleman down there.
I just wanted to say that. You see the first difference, the major difference. It hasn't even started yet, but you see the difference. This is show. This is artistic. This is circus. This is what I really love in that sport. The more of the artistic, the better.
The more artistic, desto better. And this is also maybe why Hauke is saying hey, I really love CYR, because here we are more free to do things and not bound by
Exactly.
rules. But this is not Hauke, this is from USA, this is Casey. We have him coming up there. He's just waiting for the judges, and there it all sets to start.
Okay. And we should be quiet now to listen to the music and watch his performance. Good luck to him.
Next up is Hauke Naten from Germany.
It's a really good one. I really enjoyed this one. It's really, you know,
It just felt like a partner for him to dance with.
and I have to say, as you said, a very great performance by him. And then we just take it from there. One thing, Gunther, now we can see here, he looks nervous in this case, because with that performance from Casey, he's really coming into it and really doing a great job there. So let's see.
I have difficulties in hearing you, and I have no sound from the sports hall.
And there we go. Is that much further? There's this much. And there we get ready with Hauke. He's getting ready here on the floor. And Gunther, Let's see how he will perform with this one here. Let's see how he goes into it. And there we go, see, all quiet, everybody's getting ready. Let's just enjoy his dance when it's coming in a few seconds. And there, all quiet, the referee's getting ready. They're showing Casey's score, and it's coming in. And there, let's see. Oh, everybody's waiting for it. And everybody's cheering in Hauke, and he loved that center place, so you can almost feel it on him.
He definitely is a performer. He loves being in the focus.
And you can almost see it. He's not focused on the judges right now because they're not ready. So he gets his energy from everybody outside. Love it. There we go. It's getting ready.
That's a cool trick. It looks so easy, but it's probably not that easy to keep the wheel upright without your hands, just by your feet.
You can almost also hear people here in the gym starting clapping at him. Let's get ready for it.
What about the score?
The score hasn't come
Has
in yet.
Casey already received his score?
No, Casey's score has not come in yet. They're coming on the screen right now, so
Okay, that's why Hauke has to wait.
difficulty 1.
Okay, now he's ready. Really difficult and need a lot of strength and control. such a flawless and excellent performance. He put so much power into this performance. It's just wonderful to watch how a person can have so much control of that wheel and just perform alongside to the music, which I again couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Günther, it was a very well performance here, and he really did a very good job there. And now we get the Japanese competition on the floor here, and it's going fast here. He's getting ready, and he's in his national suit here at the moment.
I'm sorry, I can't understand you, Thomas.
There we go.
I definitely have sound problems.
Yeah.
So the next competitor we're waiting for is Shigeki again. So far he's on second place with a score of 7.7, and he's dressed up, typically Japanese, I don't know. Let's see what he wants to express with his performance and music.
Yeah, we are quite interested in what he's doing here. There's a little quiet here in the gym, all waiting for the referees, the juries to do the score for Hauke. We can say that Casey, he got 6.15 in score, and then we have Hauke. We're waiting for his score, but let's wait for that until we have seen this performance and see the referees, the juries are really discussing this one, what's going on, who's getting what as a score. This is what's coming on, but let's see it out. You can see he's really focused on the floor here from Team Japan, and the jury is really giving them time. That's a very hard one to judge the last one. And one thing I need to ask you a little bit, Günther, if you're there, is score. There's something called difficulties and something called how they did it, their performance, and then they multiply these two.
Yeah, correct. So now talking about the artistic program, there are different scores. One is for the artistic. So how artistic are the elements that the competitors show? The next one is for the difficulty. That's easy to explain. How difficult are the elements that the competitor shows? And the third one is the execution. How well executed are the elements? So there are different judges and they're responsible for different areas. And I have to finish quickly because he's ready. This altogether, minus independent deductions, major things, you leave the competition area or something like that. This then makes the overall score for the technical, for the artistic program. And now I better shut up. could say. What a fantastic performance. What do you think, Thomas?
Next up in the CYR Technical Artistic Program is going to be Annika Witte from Germany.
By the Japanese, but also the other ones. But let's go into studio just to have a small talk about what we see. There we go. And Gunther, you're with me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Thomas, now I can hear you, but to be honest, I'm sorry that I have to repeat myself.
No, it's all okay.
I really have sound problems.
Yeah, but we are very glad to have you with us directly live from Germany on your connection at home. That's much more important than the other things, because I can say to you, people out there is getting a very good experience. We're going on the floor now again, because we have one of the female competitions.
Is there no short break? The ladies just continue?
They continue. They're waiting for the score for the males. And I can say to you, the first score here, I will not tell how the score, because this performance by the Japanese, he did a very good performance, Shigeki. So it's going to be a very close one. Who's going to be the world champion of males here? But Casey, he did 6.25. That was a little bit in the lower end. We've been seeing 11 points most of the evening. But then we have Hauke Narten from Germany, and then we have Sagiki Kanai, and we're waiting for his score. And I can say to you, the judges are discussing and discussing and discussing because there was so many beautiful moves there, and with the Japanese music and like a little bit like, I have to say, it really looks like a small battle fight like we have been seeing for some years.
Just one thing that I wanted to add is, even if Casey, the American guy, only received 6.15, both of them, Shigeki and Casey, they just showed how much able they are, how powerful they are, how artistic they are. Compared to the technical program, they added so much. You can't really compare what we saw in the artistic program to the technical. Whereas the technical, they had some flaws, they had some mistakes, and yeah, the scores they received, they were justified. But if you compare Hauke and Shigeki and Casey in the artistic program now, me not being a judge, not being an expert in CYR wheel, I didn't see that much difference. All three performed really well, and yeah, I'm happy to see that there's a quite a fight.
We're going to the floor straight away.
Je suis pas tout seul à être tout seul, ça fait déjà ça moins dans la tête. Et si je comptais combien on est? Beaucoup, tout ce à quoi j'ai déjà pensé, dire que plein d'autres y ont déjà pensé, mais malgré tout je me sens tout seul. Du coup, j'ai parfois eu des pensées suicidaires, j'en suis peu fier. On croit parfois que c'est la seule manière de les faire taire. Ces pensées qui nous font vivre en fait. Ces pensées qui nous font vivre en fait. Est-ce qu'il y a que moi qui ai la télé et la chaîne culpabilité? Mais faut bien se changer les idées. Pas trop quand même, sinon ça repart vite dans la tête. Et c'est trop tard pour que ça s'arrête. C'est là que j'aimerais tout oublier. Du coup, j'ai parfois eu des pensées suicidaires, j'en suis peu fier. On croit parfois que c'est la seule manière de les faire taire. Ces pensées qui me font vivre un enfer. Ces pensées qui me font vivre un enfer. Et je sais vraiment pas quoi faire de toi. Justement réfléchir, c'est bien le problème avec toi. Tu sais, j'ai mûrement réfléchi. Et je sais vraiment pas quoi faire de toi. Justement réfléchir, c'est bien le problème avec toi.
Congratulations, Annika. Coming from the few sound bits that I was able to hear, it sounded a bit like a French chanson.
Yeah.
Am I right?
French song, yeah. But I can see she's a mix of happy and unhappy. But a good performance, and we saw in the first performance that a small mistake didn't cost that much.
Next up is Larissa von Beeren from
So,
Germany.
we are getting into the next one coming on, and the next one is Larissa coming back here on it.
So she's the leading lady in this competition, Larissa von Beeren. She was 4th in the World Championships in Surville in 2018, sorry. And she's now leading the competition before her appearance now.
But again, everything can happen. You can almost see her here from the cup. She's not entering the floor because she's waiting for the judges to give the other score before even she wants to enter the floor. This means business. This focus. It's nervous to stand out there and wait for the judges.
I can remember from my own time being a competitor that sometimes it was really nerve-wracking, especially when something happened with a competitor that appeared before you, something extraordinary where the judges had to talk then, and sometimes that just went on and went on and went on, and you didn't know what to do. Should I go back or should I just wait? And you're getting more and more nervous, but I think Larissa is ready now, and the judges have given their scores. Just wait for the sign of the coach for the music.
It's a bit waiting time for the
Still waiting. Still no score. Do we actually have a score for Shigeki, the Japanese
we have a score for
man?
Shigeki, 11.025, and then I can say to you, ladies and gentlemen, how
11.05, that's what I said.
Yeah.
What a difference between the 7.7 that he received for his technical program.
And then we can say how they got 12.35, meaning that Hauke is going to be the next world champ in Sweden.
Congratulations to Hauke then, but congratulations to the other performers and competitors too. They really showed a great performance in the artistic program.
And you can almost see here Larissa, she wanted to wait to go on the floor because now she's still standing there waiting. The judges are the score coming in now. I can see the difficulty we just have Annika has a difficulty of 3, and now we start.
Very large circle. Congratulations, Larissa. That was a very powerful performance. Also, unfortunately, again, I didn't hear any music.
I will survive, and she was really, I will survive on that floor. Really great performance. Günther, we know you have some sending issues with the music, but I can say everybody out there.
Next up is going to be Mia Kletke from Germany.
We are getting ready for the next competitioner, but before going into the next competitioner, let's just jump in studio because we have again a little bit of waiting time. And there we go, and here we are, and we are back in studio. Now we are going to see, it looks like we are going to have a fairy tale on the floor. It looks like a children's fairy tale from Sweden. I know in Danish and Swedish and Norwegian she's called Pippi Langstrømpe, but I can't remember what she's called in German. I know she's called Pippi in German, but she has this horse and a small ape on her shoulder. She's here to dance for us.
Thomas, I'm sorry, I don't understand. I can't hear you.
No, that's okay. Gunda, that's all okay.
Ah, now I
there
see.
we go. This
Okay.
is what we're talking about.
I think that looks like Pippi Langstrumpf.
Yeah, Pippi Langstrumpf she's called in German. And there we go. And who's performing that?
That wonderful character by Astrid Lindgren. Isn't it Astrid Lindgren?
Yes.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, no. There you're all right. It is Astrid Lindgren performing this one. And there it's Tiara, is the new storyteller here. And she had quite a nervous run in the first one. But even with one mistake, she got in top 2. So what are we up to here now? That's very interesting because this is going to be quite a show.
Well, I expect that Larissa will get a very high score for her performance, which, as I said, was very powerful and, according to my opinion, absolutely flawless. So I expect a very high score, an 11 something or even a 12 something. So it will be pretty difficult for the others to beat her, but let's see what
let's see what's coming up.
What Timea can do. She was only 3/10 of a point behind Larissa.
And before we are going here with Timira, then we have to score on Annika. She got 9.45. We can see here, and the Larissa score is still waiting on it. So everything is on here. Still quite some waiting time coming in front of the judges. The judges are still discussing a lot down there. They're really into a hard one to judge this one because it's a very, very close fight at this World Championship 2022 in wheel gymnastics in the competition of ski. Now the score coming in. And we have a start.
what a funny and interesting performance and routine. That was definitely something for the audience in the sport hall to clap along with and to feel along with. Very well done, Timea. Excellent.
Also with this, how can I say,
Next up
children's
is
music.
Sandra Heidingsfeld.
And now we have next competitioner coming in, and we have to score. Larissa got 11.6. So a very good start for Larissa here in the second part. So the competition now is in. It's now or never they're coming in, and right now, you can just see here, the next competitioner is waiting is Sandra. And, she also has quite some to fight for, huh, Günther?
Thomas, I just got information that viewers of the stream, they have difficulty to hear us. They hardly hear us at all.
Okay.
I don't know if you have the possibility to change that.
We will turn us a little bit up in the sound so they can hear us much more. So now they should be able to hear us much more, Günther. That's much better. Thank you for that information. That's good. So, Günther, we are going into the next here.
The last two, actually.
Yeah, the last two. And right now they're waiting a little bit. You can see they're getting ready for the prize ceremony afterwards. But we have something to fight for at the moment. See, the floor is empty. We are waiting for the score to coming in again. The judges giving themselves time. The two competitioners are talking a lot together here. What's happening? So let's see what's coming in here. There we go. Sandra getting ready on the floor to perform for us. And interesting which performance you will have with that type of clothing.
So Sandra Heidingsfelder with a score of 11.0 for her technical program. She was in second place, wasn't she?
Yeah, overall I think she was in second place coming in. And she's looking after something. It's like it's part of her performance of waiting. So it's like the show already started without the music.
Bit like Hauke before. She's a born performer. She uses the time before her routine starts to entertain the people, to get ready and to get into her role.
Yeah, and now she's getting ready. Oh, she's a little bit afraid now, it looks like, on the floor, but let's see. She's still looking
I really wonder what the show is going to be about.
Always interesting what the show is going to be about, Günther. But she's waiting. The judge is still counting score together with the mirror. So let's hope everything's going in. There we go. It comes in here now. And we have a score and we have some music.
Okay, congratulations, Sandra.
Yeah, a great performance.
Again, well done.
Yeah, she played a little bit with the music here, stopping the music, spinning around with the music and everything. And while we had Sandra going out, we had the score of Tamira. She got 9.325 in her performance. So quite interesting what's going to happen here.
Artistic Program
Right
is
now
going
we
to
are
be
again
Lucy
waiting
Voss
for
from
the
Germany.
judges. But here next competition is coming in, and I can say to you before you're going to see her, she looks like she's dressed up. And that's the last one of tonight, that's Lucy.
So far, all four of them were spectacular and almost flawless in their performances. Everybody with a different aspect in their costumes, in their music, in their performances. So let's see what Lucy has in stall together with her pink rim.
Yeah, it's always interesting what she has. Again, we have some waiting time, but she chooses to go into the arena and stand and wait, and that must be hard waiting. You can almost see her arms shaking there, Gunther. So the entering is pumping. She's ready. It's the last performance of this CYR World Championship in the 2022 WheelGymnastics World Championship. So let's see how Lucy will perform here. And she is the youngest and ending up the whole battle. So that is amazing.
Well, what a great job and chance for her, being the last one in this great competition, to finish and get the full attention of the audience once more, and to be out there alone, standing there, waiting for the judges to get ready and to have the full focus just on her person. It doesn't look as if she's too nervous, although she's so young. She seems...
Oh,
now that's the show for the coach.
So there we go.
The coaches have to entertain the audience as well.
And we are getting ready, Gunther. Let's look forward to what's going to happen here. It's going to be quite a show for Lucy. The last performers of this CYR World Championship.
Good luck to Lucy. Here she goes. I can hear very, very tiny bits and pieces every now and then. It's nice hearing you singing along with the music. So far. She's looking really confident and happy.
Spinning around.
Wow, cool. Lucy, excellent.
Very beautiful, and to a much more modern type of music than the rest of them. Very well, very strong performance with a lot of power in.
Yeah. Especially for a young girl of 14, she really performed a very grown-up performance. Very elaborate, lots of skill, lots of power, technically excellent, really, really well done.
Yeah. And Günther, we will go in studio because they're getting ready for the prize ceremony. So let's just go in studio for a second here. And Günther, what a performance we just saw here. People are dancing around and happy, the athletes are happy, everybody is happy down there. And we just had some crazy performance, and now they're getting ready to assemble the athletes to the prize ceremony. But what did we see here? We saw earlier today, we saw the technical part of CYR, and this time the more artistic way. And there was a huge different way of approaching it.
Well, I think that was very easy to see that the technical and the artistic program are completely two different things, two different worlds. And for the spectators, for the audience, it's of course the artistic part. That is the more interesting thing, because that's show, that's music, that's costume, that's just the quality of the whole performance is a completely different one. It's interesting to watch the technical side and to see what people can do and how accurately they can do it. But it's much more interesting, I think, to then watch the shows and the music and the competitors perform.
You can just see how they're getting ready for this prize ceremony that's coming in just after Lucy's performance here. And there's quite some, what we call in German, Stimmung. There's very, very good atmosphere in here. So how does it feel to sit at home and watch these pictures, Günther?
To be honest, I'm very sad. I'm happy to see it, but I'm sad at the same time because I would have liked to be there myself, and I would have liked to just stand on the floor now, on the competition floor, and just to kind of orchestrate the performances and tell the people when and where and what. But nevertheless, it's good to see that everybody is in a good mood and everybody is happy, and everybody's looking forward to some more days of joy and fun.
Some more days of joy and fun. And Günther, I'm just getting the final scores here, not the overall score, but the final scores. Sandra, she got 10.225, and Lucy, she got 9.65 in score, total score. So this couldn't be more closer. This is a very, very close performance, very, very close competition, and it's hard to tell who will be the world champion of CYR for the women's.
Well, I quickly added up the scores, but I'm not giving anything away.
You're not telling anything,
No,
Günther.
no, I'm not.
Not
right,
your
it's a very close
Spielverlagerung.
race. Very close race with all of them will have to serve but there can only be one winner, and this can take another 5 minutes more.
Yeah, there will be 5 minutes of waiting a little bit. You can hear there's some sound here, some music on here in the gym where we are. So they're really doing some great things. They're waiting for it to come in here. You can almost see all the spectators clapping. The reason why they're clapping is because one of the English performers is back. She hurt her knee and not her foot, and now she's back from Team Austria. But while that, let's go back to studio here.
Yeah, I've heard of that injury.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that she's back. I hope injury is not too severe.
Yeah. And now the music is down, so I think No, we are still waiting for the prize ceremony. We are getting close, but we won't tell who's going to be the world champion. We know the score and everything here in the studio.
Have you already found out whether they start with the juniors or with the CYR wheel?
No, we haven't found out. Now we are getting something to talk. We're getting ready for the prize ceremony, but let's just go on the floor. If the juniors are there, then let's celebrate the juniors too. And let's go on the floor. Not me. Let's go on the floor here.
Maybe you deserve a prize as well. I don't know.
No, not today. But I have to say, it is a big prize of being here, seeing this high-level competition. And I'm amazed of the show they're doing. So, the action is on.
Welcome to the award ceremony. I will start. I have here the results of the semi-final.
They have a result of the semi-finals for the junior first.
With the junior girls. I hope that
so let's see who's getting into the next round.
Exactly. There's just the names for the finalists.
For the all-around final junior girls, we have with us here from Germany.
Lia Schmidt from Germany. She qualified into the next round. And we're going to see that Saturday morning all around.
Please stand up 1 or 2 steps or go ahead.
The all around, I have to correct you, is tomorrow evening.
Oh, yeah, sorry, yeah.
And the individual final is done on Saturday.
Then we have from Team Israel also. And another German, we didn't hear who she was, also coming in here. We have in the swingers. She's there so happy. Really
German to Israel.
And Akula from Germany.
Almost looks like Germany against Israel.
And that's the last German here. So 4 German at least from the girls
from Israel.
And 2 from Israel. I'm not the only one, even the commentators said Saturday morning, so I'm glad of that. So give them a big hand. They were qualified into tomorrow's final, so these 6 we will have a special broadcast on.
Okay, they're now giving away.
Yeah.
That was the spiral final maybe for Saturday, and not the other
For the
one.
straight line competition, qualified
okay.
individual. It's a little bit. What? She doesn't understand. And then from Norway, Dina Sofia also qualified to the straight line finals. Israel, Molly Solon also coming in. Switzerland, we also have an athlete, and now the cowgirls go from up once again here. And Ella Köhler also in that final, so she's in 2 finals this year already. And also Pure Benoni is also in the second one here. So 2 finals for these 2 athletes. That must be hard for them.
They have a very, very strong team, Israel, and I'm really looking forward to this battle in the finals. That will be a very, very interesting competition then.
So that's Saturday morning.
That was straight line, okay, and now probably the last one should be vault.
Now Laura Spielmann from Denmark. She's so
Oh, that's
pleased.
wonderful.
So she's
to have somebody from the host.
And Melstaff from Switzerland also qualifying in to the World Finals on Saturday. Her second final also in World, so they are very pleased of that. There's a duo, both of them qualified into World, but Kills, I have to say,
in all 3 finals.
Yeah, in all finals. Also, Anna Killer is going into all finals. That must be hard for them.
To be in all finals?
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably hard for the body, but it's excellent for the mind.
Wow.
If you really make it into all 3 finals, we can be very, very proud of you.
So that's the program for Saturday.
Okay, now we come to the junior boys. So that doesn't really look as if you were able to perform again.
They're more cheering at her, so saying, "We'll come back."
Okay.
And they're saying they're very happy she's back, and all the cheering here, it looked really bad. So, but as they say, she will not be able to compete in the next one. But I love this mood of family and support of each other here. Then we're getting ready for the next one here. So she's giving the spot to another one from Team Austria that will compete instead of her.
Oh,
So
what a
she's so
wonderful
happy.
move.
Couldn't be written better, that story. See, Mara is so pleased of getting that spot. So 2 Israeli also going into another final.
It will be all around final. Because I have difficulty.
Yeah, it's the same here. We have a little difficulty following the commentator here. But I actually think they said the vault. So the one we had before was the spiral. This is the vault. Now we're getting ready for the junior boys. All around final first. So Adrian from USA qualified to the all round. From Germany, Spielmann looks very happy with that. And he's joined by his teammate. So and Uwe from Israel also coming all the way in.
So we have 3 nations already. That's good.
And Switzerland also. Oh, see, that's a joy we have seen there. Really glad to qualifying. Then we also have from Israel. Yeah.
It's on you tomorrow. It's on you tomorrow for the gold medals in the all-around.
Okay, that was the all-around. Lineup for tomorrow evening, together with the seniors.
And as they said here at the gym, that's a new thing that they're battling for. So.
Exactly, that's the first time they go together with the seniors in the all-around final. So far we only had that for the seniors.
Straight line final for Saturday's Aiden, also going in that one. So that's 2 finals for him. And Skoda takes 1 more for final for Germany also. And Uwe also. It looks like they're going to back each other, these 2 gentlemen. And this also qualifies him. And another, that's almost like a pair there. And it's the same lineup in straight line, so all round and straight line they're going to back each other.
So 2 more lineups, and then we'll proceed to the award ceremony for CYR.
Now it's spiral. So Jean-Marc here qualifies here from Germany. Adrian from USA again.
Makes it in another final.
And our guys
Congratulations.
With that performance there. And Skoda takes another one. Also 3 finals for him right now. And Raui also takes 3 ones. So So Ohamar is getting 1 more. Now he wants to tune 3 in a row. It's okay. Flat on me here. That's okay. And the commentator says, because people are going a little bit wild here, it's only the semi-finals. Let's see how it's going in the finals tomorrow.
Good. The last lineup. What is left? The straight line?
This is Volt, I think. Volt, yeah.
Volt, okay.
Uri from Israel is together. Oh, 4th. He has all finals.
And him again.
Yeah, that's 3 only. He didn't get all 4, but again, he's very happy about it. And the Germans are getting all 4 finals also.
Congratulations.
Yeah, you can almost see the Colombian team is sitting beside us here in studio. They are all wild, jumping and clapping. That's a great performance.
He can be really proud on that qualification. Well done.
Yeah, well done. And now the award ceremony for CYR will come in. So let's get ready to see who will win those medals in the first World Championship final here at the 2022 Wheel Gymnastics World Championship in Sønderborg. The women results coming first. Annika gets the 5th position. So there we have her. And Lucy Foss gets the 4th place coming in here.
But she's got the future on her side, definitely, being only 14 years old.
And Timia gets the bronze medal. There she comes in. Pippi Longström coming in here. Very happy of that bronze medal.
So now...
and Sandra gets 2nd place with that performance. Here cheering everything, going in. There we see bronze medal coming.
She had a very small, 1 or 2 very small mistakes in her artistic program, and I think that made the difference.
Yeah, and there we have the overall winner.
Larissa, after the 4th place at the last World Championships, she's now getting the title as World Champion. Congratulations.
There she is. World Champion. Great performance. And getting the medal there. So happy to see that face.
We'll just probably now wait for the national anthems.
Yeah.
Or anthem of Germany.
See, so proud, so much practice, 4 years of waiting. All rise up in here. Wow, congratulations, Larissa. So proud standing up there, getting another picture. World Champion 2022 in CYR here at the Wheel Gymnastics World Championship. There they go down. And now we're getting ready for the males. So bronze medal goes to Casey from USA. He's coming there. Looks quite satisfied with that one.
I mean, he can really be satisfied, especially with his artistic program, which was very well performed and a big change to his technical program where he had mistakes, but the artistic program was really well done.
And Now we're getting Sikeki, he's coming in there with the second place. He really took the battle into it, especially that artistic program where he really scored fine. So that was very great by him, getting that second position.
Yeah, with his artistic program, he got even close to Hauke. There wasn't that much of a difference, so that was very well performed.
And Hauke goes up, being crowned world champion. He looks satisfied. So there we go. And they know each other quite well, but he's very, very pleased of that world championship.
I mean, I can remind you again on what you said before, being 37 and being at the top once more, he can really be proud of himself. He's Mr. CYR Wheel.
Yeah. I have to say, amazing performance by him. Let's see. There we go, the world champ himself. WheelGymnastics 2022 World Championship in Sønderborg. And there it goes, there it goes. So happy, so fine of this one. Great performance by him.
Enjoy this moment. We will see some of you again. Thank you very much. Looking forward to that guaranteed seats.
So Henning just mentioned it. There's going to be a separate competition, not an official one within the framework of the World Championships, a CYR battle. And the finals of this CYR battle we're going to watch tomorrow evening during the round finals, just to cover the time between the end of the competition and the award ceremony. So we're really looking forward to something spectacular again. So I assume that we're going to see them all again tomorrow evening.
Yeah.
At the end of the final.
We are, and I have to say it's quite amazing. Now there's giving out gifts from the local organizers to all the participants around there. But you just said we're going to see a CYR battle tomorrow, so we're going to see some of these guys and girls again battling against each other. But tomorrow we have a whole new competition on air. It's the all round. Before going offline here, because it's been a long night, but a match in a fantastic event actually. I need to know, what are we going to see tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow evening we're going to see the qualifying finalists for the all-round, which means that the 6 competitors qualified will show their board, straight line and spiral, and the overall score then determines who's going to win the all-around titles. And this all-around competition will be men and women and seniors and juniors in one mixed competition. So we will see everything tomorrow evening.
I'm really looking forward to that, and special to looking forward to have you with me in studio again, Günther. And I have to say, even you're sitting home in Germany, you're sitting remotely from us here, then I have to say, great pleasure to have you here in the studio, guiding us through what's happening and also comment on all the small details. A great pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, Thomas. My pleasure. Likewise. Thank you very much for being able to be with you, to co-host you through this afternoon, and I'm really very much looking forward to tomorrow evening.
And with that said, all of you, boys and girls, and I also have to say parents and grandparents, no matter where you're sitting in the world, you can watch the finals live tomorrow on the International Wheel Gymnastics Federation's Facebook, YouTube, and go in and see how it's going. Thank you for that, and with that said, we just have to say see you tomorrow.
Good evening and see you tomorrow.
4 years of waiting.
4 years of practice.
1 World Championships.
Hard work.
Performance. Precision.
Great routines.
Okay, welcome to the 2022 World Championships of Wheel Gymnastics.